Hi, everybody. It's Craig from Doc Sports. We're back with a free bunch of picks today for Doc's Daily. Going to have some Major League Baseball, some NBA, a little bit of the NBA, maybe even one NHL pick that I'm looking at. So we'll do all this in around 30 minutes. And of course, if you're new to the show, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, make sure you don't miss out on all the stuff we do here daily. We've been cranking out tons of MLB, NBA, NHL free picks for you. Shows, all kinds of stuff, so make sure you don't miss out on everything here. And, of course, welcome in Raphael. He's filling in for Robert today. Robert is across the pond doing some soccer and stuff with his son, I believe, right, Raphael? I think.
Yeah, his son's a pretty good soccer player, so I'm filling in for him. And then, in an hour, I'll be doing one of the odds by myself since Fringo is gone. So on the same channel, you can grab some lunch, come back and watch me talk about a little UFC, some horses, what's going on for the weekend, a number point of view.
Yeah, exciting time of year. People think after March Madness, it's kind of like there is a lull, a little bit like a week or two before we hit the playoffs for the NBA and NHL. But this year with the earlier start of MLB, I think it's made MLB a little more interesting instead of, I'm always like a set out kind of guy for the first week. I'm like, maybe one play a day in Major League Baseball. Maybe some days I don't have any. But now we're a week farther in. So, hey, that's good news for us. Don't forget, get in on a free $60 account if you're new, docsports.com/free60. That'll get you the best place. As much as we like all these free plays, the absolute best place from all of the experts are over there at the website. And you can use this if you're a new customer to try us out, free $60. It's $30 per day per sport or $99 per week per sport to get in on all the plays from one of your favorite experts here at Doc Sports. Okay, also, let's go ahead and get it out of the way. You can get on the Premium Plus. It's a new feature we've had for about a month now. So the level one is Indian Cowboy. You get like 3 to 4 plays every day from him. That's $19.99 a month, that is. The link is in the description. And we added a Premium Plus. That's Indian Cowboy Plus. You get 3 expert plays from some of our Doc Sports experts. I host that every day. It comes out between 12 and 12:30. Just $49.99 for a month. So make sure you take advantage of that. Click the link in the description. Okay, Raphael, what do you have for today? I have not been good lately. Just being honest. I'm always honest. I've been terrible. So hopefully they can get on your plays today because have you been good lately, first of all? And what do you have for today?
First of all, for the NBA, I've been a train wreck. I will not lie. I've been awful in the NBA. I literally think the last time I had a big unit play, I think Obama was our president. That's how bad I've been in the NBA. But baseball season has been, as Sammy Sosa said, very, very good to me so far. And now that's been teeter-tottering between NHL. You know how NHL is. You have good 3 days, been missed 2 days and all that. But the baseball's been good. But it's a busy weekend. Not only do we have baseball, NBA. Well, I don't have NBA till playoffs. NHL. There's UFO this weekend, week 3. You got UFC 314. I'll have horses. So for me, I have soccer all weekend long. So it's always a big one. I have a nice play in baseball today, a 7-unit one on a diamond coming out of the National League. Hit a small. I'm actually shocked that I had a play yesterday. I looked at the card. I was like, oh, what an ugly card. Mostly days went in the afternoon. And then I was a little shocked at one of the total movements. I'm like, really? So I just played something small, a 3-unit one, and actually hit. So hopefully we have a nice baseball evening for us today.
So that 7-unit play, just for people that in reference, we do them on an 8-unit scale. 8 units like game of the year. So you might have 5, 4, maybe 3 to 4 of those, maybe 5 if depending on the capper. So when it goes to 7-unit play, that's like really, really strong. So make sure you check that out. Go over to docsports.com. Once you sign in the members area, go to Major League Baseball. You can get it $30 for the day. And, of course, use that free 60 if you haven't done so, docsports.com/free60. If you're a new customer, you can get his MLB for free. Use that $30 to get in on that day pass. Okay, let's talk Major League Baseball here to kick us off. Just because if you don't like the NBA or the NHL, then you can hop out after the Major League Baseball, probably like 15 minutes of talk for us. Raphael, this is the time of year for baseball that I start to think you can find value betting like against the public because you see these huge favorites now. We start to see them settle in because people just get, like they get so settled in, a team that's playing bad and maybe isn't expected, that minus 250, minus 320. It's like you only got to win one of the 3 of these basically to make money. And we're starting to see these earlier and earlier every year. Is there something today that you think, like has big value because these lines definitely are getting out of hand already.
But I totally agree with you when saying on big spreads and all that. But there's one team, maybe two teams, but I think there's one solid team. If it's a big number, don't bet them. Colorado Rockies suck. I mean, they're 15 or they're 2-15 their last 17 games. They stink on the road. Their bullpen is awful. So if you see that one, there's a reason why you need to fade the Colorado Rockies. But I'm so excited watching NL West games. I mean, the NL West. Yes, everyone was all lovely-dovey against the Dodgers, but the San Diego Fathers playing great baseball. Arizona can win some games and get back in. San Francisco playing some great baseball. It's a fun division. That's why my free
Heck, the
play right
Angels have
now.
looked good.
Yeah, the Angels, but Mike Trout will get hurt and then they tank it and stuff like
but
that.
he's playing like MVP Mike Trout right now, which I was worried. You know, like as a baseball fan, I would just want to see him be healthy. You know, like give him a chance in the team. So I love to see that he's back. I just, you know, you still wish that it's like, what if he was healthy at the same time as Ohtani?
And Kyle Hendricks has been really good for them. I mean, I thought he left Chicago and I'm like, oh, they're probably going to stick him in a bullpen because his fastball went now 75 miles per hour. And he's actually pitched well for them. So I'm a little bit surprised on how well the Angels, but I will go with my first free play. And I'm actually going to throw out two of the same game.
Sure.
I'm going to take the Dodgers team total over 4.5. It dropped down. It was minus 120. Now it's minus 3 nickels on this game. A little bit shocked. They're playing the Cubs. Yes, the Cubs first place. Yes, the Cubs walk a lot. I can't believe how patient the Chicago Cubs, because in the city of Chicago, there's nothing patient in Chicago. Not politics, not food, not traffic, nothing. There's nothing patient. But the Cubs bats have been very patient on them out. Dodgers, they're 10 wins this season. They're averaging 5.5 runs per game. The Tokyo series. Don't forget, these two teams played already in Tokyo. Dodgers outscored them 10-4. I'm just a little bit shocked that I can get a good price with Dodgers over 4.5. Boyd is on them on. The Dodgers beat up the Cubs and didn't have Boyd. They went with Imanaga and Steele. If they can score runs on those two pitchers, I think Boyd could be in for a long evening on this one. So I think the Dodgers put up some big ones. I like the over as well. But give me the Dodgers run line. I mean, I know the Cubs first place, but they have to go out west, and they've had trouble going out west, beating the Fathers, the Giants, the D-backs, and all that. We saw what the D-backs did to Chicago earlier this year. I like the Dodgers. If I'm going to get plus a nickel against them with a Boyd on the mound, I'll take a shot at that one.
The over, and I mean, this is crazy. There's been 14 games for the Cubs. They've went over in 11 of the 14 games. And, you know, these trends seem to even out over the course of a long season. But in the short, you know, you're looking at 15, 20 games. Sometimes you just have to just ride the trends. Just taking the overs in these Cubs games has been pretty good. And, you know, the Cubs offense is scoring more than I thought. I thought the Cubs would not be able to score big runs this year. I thought they'd have to win close games and lower scoring games. You know, obviously it hasn't been the case because they're 11-3 to the over on the year. And like you said, they started off, 0-2 or 0-3 to the Dodgers?
0-3. But they lead the league in walks and they lead the league in stolen bases. That's why they're winning games. They're not winning games because of the long ball. They're winning games because they're playing small ball.
That's you know, I know everybody loves the home runs. And in Major League Baseball, you know, like at times of their existence have you know, embraced the long ball. And then at times they've tried to, you know, like discourage by, you know, raising the mound, all the things they've done in the past. But to me, I love small ball. I really do. I love when guys are stealing. I love, like, my Reds, if Ellie the Jacuzzi ever hit the ball on the ground, get a walk, and he steals 2 bases, that's more exciting than when he hits the long ball. People go crazy when you're there. And to me, when you hit a home run, now the bases are empty. So the pitcher isn't thrown out of the, you know, like to me, when the guys are on base, it's much tougher on pitchers. So when you're playing small ball, I actually think you can have these really, really big innings. I think you're going to see more small ball because, you know, like if you see it, the strikeouts are just too much in baseball. Like the guys just swing for the fences. People got to go back to the old days where let's hit the ball on the ground. Let's hit the ball the other. You know, as Pete Rose says, hit the ball the other way. Every once in a while, just hit the ball the other way. Get you a base hit. Tony Gwynn, a la Tony Gwynn. I got a free play for everybody today. This is I think a tougher day in Major League Baseball, even though I do have 2 small plays. That's rare. Usually I just have 1 play a day. To me, Detroit, until they kind of cool off, I'm going to ride Detroit here. And I'm not just kissing up because a la Detroit Lenny, Brown nosing a little bit. But I do think Detroit got right at home here. And now, granted, they didn't face the toughest schedule at points of this year, but I still think they take this on the road today with Olsen on the mound. This Minnesota Twins team is just not good. They're 4-9 in the year. I thought they would be about a 500 team, but they're not playing well. I'm taking Detroit as a nice even money, plus 102. I see it in some spots. Let's take Detroit. I almost said Lions, Detroit Tigers today. But I got football on my mind already, Raphael.
It's April 11th. Well, UFL Week 3 starts today, so that's football.
And then CFL is like, what, about a
2
month
weeks
away, right?
Yeah,
like 2 weeks away. I think is their when they had the preseason, and then I think it's like they do like 2 weeks of that if I remember right, and then to me I can't get into the UFL. I do love playing the CFL. I love the CFL. It's a totally different game. People that haven't followed CFL, you got to get in on it. Like, it's fun to watch. Unfortunately, they don't make it the easiest to watch their games.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I have every sports network possible doing what I do. And even I can't find games at times. And it's like, I don't understand when most nights they have one game. How can you not make sure this is on, in the U.S. somewhere that we can? Because guess what? If we can watch it, you know what we're going to do, Raphael? We're going to bet on it. So,
right, people bet the Little League World Series because you can watch it.
There's a reason why MAC games, when they play or Sun Belt games on Tuesday and Wednesday, they get more action on a Tuesday than the rest of the Sun Belt games together on the weekend. Because they're on TV where you can watch them and, it's the sole game, and it's the same thing CFL could do. Kicks off June 5th.
June 5th. Oh, wow.
So it's a little farther back.
Thank you, producer man.
Yeah, I think May is when they do those. I think they do 2 preseason games, which I still don't understand. Whole preseason, NFL, CFL, we don't do it in college football. We don't do it in high school. You play scrimmages, and then you freaking go 3 preseason games. There you go. So just start it off. Give me more football. I'd be in for that. The draft is what? 3 weeks away?
April 20th, isn't it? The 20th?
Is that 2 weeks? That's like 10 days, 9 days away. Is that right? It starts on a Thursday, right?
You mean NFL Customer Appreciation Day?
Yeah. Yeah. We got to have Raphael on the day before or the day. Well, they're at night, so I guess we could do the day of. Because the betting on the NFL draft I can't believe they even take them, to be very honest.
Was it 4 years ago? A director told me that the only reason why he does it now for customer service and for, hey, here's some money. Now, don't forget to bet futures. Don't forget to bet baseball. It's a day where he knows he's going to lose. He's going to put up low limits and circle a lot of stuff.
Low limits in Vegas, we're talking what? 1,000?
I mean, let's say how many SEC players will get drafted. I'm saying probably a dime. So maybe a nickel.
I mean, that's nothing. I mean, that's not nothing, especially when you can bet, 3 of them like that, and all of a sudden, But usually you can't parlay them, right?
No.
See, that's how they save.
See, some sites you can, which
that's when you can get whacked.
I consulted them. I'm like, are you guys crazy? Oh, well, we do super boosts and all that. Well, then you deserve what you get.
I mean, I can see if you do 2 teams because, you could limit you could advertise it, super boost, and this is just free advertising. But once you get to 3, 4, 5, dude, all of a sudden you could be in a $20,000, $30,000 loss. And now you get 10 people doing that. That's a serious. You got to have a lot of losing parlays to pay for that. All right. Do you have any other MLB free plays before we move on to NBA?
I'll throw a little one out there just because it was plus money. Now it's not. I took the Cardinals plus money today as myself. Plus 105, just because on how the Phillies had to get there in the game. They played last night, extra innings.
It was like midnight, right? Or 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, it ended around almost 1 o'clock at night. They had a flu. So you figure they probably didn't hit the bed until like maybe 4 in the morning, and now they have to play a game against St. Louis, who has been hitting the ball well. I was a little bit shocked. I took the plus money last night as I was watching the Phillies Braves game. So I just thought that was a good play. And I think it's still minus 105. I think it's good value at minus 105.
And St. Louis, not only did they get home early, they didn't play yesterday.
Thank you. Off. They didn't play yesterday.
So that's even an extra edge.
it's still minus 105 right now. I still think that's good value. Now, if it goes up to 3 nickels and anything like that, then I would say maybe lay off. But minus 105 on a team that's nice, well rested, get to sleep in their own beds. I think that's a
And
good play. Even though I hate the Cardinals.
St. Louis is a tough place to play too. And on a Friday night, dude, they like their beer. They're going to be sauced up. And this is actually a little earlier start, right? It's for St.
Yeah,
Louis.
it's 7:50. Yeah, 7:15 Central Time.
Central Time. So a lot of these games, like the Guardians game tonight, 6:10. I'm guessing they moved them up early in the year because of it gets really cold late at night. I'm guessing in part of the Midwest or some of the northern parts of the state. So I like that because at least you're taking advantage, taking into account fans. Now, granted, it's tough to get there. If you're going to Cleveland and you get off work at 5:00, you pretty much got to go straight to the game. The game starts at 6:10. But yeah, Nick and Griff are boots on. Oh yeah. They're going to the Red Sox and White Sox. Producers, send them a text and ask them what they're on tonight because I believe it's Griffin is a White Sox fan. So does he? I mean, I don't know how you take the White Sox right now.
Yeah.
I actually have a team total. I'll just give it out as official play. 2-unit team total over on the Red Sox. The White Sox. I thought maybe this year they could be a little better than they were last year. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. They're not going to be any better than they were last year.
They won their first game of the season. I thought, okay, maybe it's a different Sox team, but no, it's not. It's not.
I mean, they got rid of their best 2 starters, right? It's like, dude,
Yeah.
You weren't good last year. You had 2 pretty good. Like I would say, I'm not saying plus, and to me that when I say that in baseball, that means like plus. You're like you could be like a Cy Young type candidate. That wasn't what they were, but they were a plus. They had 2 plus starters. You let them go for basically nothing, and it's like I get it. By the time you're good, they're probably going to be getting paid way too much and not more than what they're worth, but still. So ask them what they like for tonight. Let's talk.
The Red Sox offense scares me. I mean, after they score 19 runs, they only scored 8 runs in 4 games or something like that. Their bats have been.
They're going to be a little feast or famine, I believe, this year. But what always cures that ail is when you go face bad starting pitching and questionable. I don't like the bullpen of the White Sox either. So it's like, what do you like of the White Sox? Like, do you like their starters? No. Do you like their relievers? No. How about their lineup? Nope. It's like
their throwback jerseys I kind of like.
No, here's the thing. And they have a terrible owner.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just go. Like, as much as people gave the Cubs, for not winning for all those years, dude, look how long it's been for the White Sox now. Like, they've went a long time. What was their last championship? Was the Burley year, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be, 15, 20 years ago? Look that up. He likes
Cleveland's still waiting for a championship, though, so.
He likes run first inning. He does like a first inning run there. So there you go. Nick's Nerfies. He's on the opposite side of the Nick's Nerfie. He likes a run in the first inning. Okay, NBA. It's a very tough time of the year. Last night, or even 2 nights ago, the Warriors in a pretty much must-win spot lose. Last night, or 2 nights ago, what was it last night? The Bulls and the Heat. They got to win. They lose. Now, granted, the Bulls need to win too. But, I mean, these teams that have to win, there's going to be one team. Is there a team out there tonight that going to lose that needs to win? They're all like double-digit favorites. One of them's going to lose. It just always happens.
I could see the Clippers losing to the Kings. I mean, the Clippers are now 6.5, 7-point favorites. I can see the Kings getting a W
After
at home.
The Kings needed to win the other night against Denver. Denver's first time the new coach. They still fucking lose. Sacramento lose. So I don't think the Kings can really gain much.
No.
But the Clippers could still.
Yeah.
They could still get the 3 or 4. Like I think that worst they can end up at 4 if they win out. They win their last 2 games, right? Or 3 games. I think they play 2 games.
2 games left for the.
Yeah, so I don't know about that. Now Golden State a 14-point favorite after losing the other night. That's like, I don't know how you don't take Portland plus the points here. Like I know Portland lost at Utah, and that probably like a lot of people were like, but they were up like 6-7 points with like 2 minutes to go or 3 minutes to go and still found a way to lose that game. It's a lot of points. Is this Portland's last game? Could someone look that up? It might be, the last game of the year is always like fan appreciation night and that kind of stuff. So that always is scary too. It's possibly their last game. I don't know.
Now, don't forget, there's no NBA games tomorrow. You play today and Sunday.
Yeah. So everybody plays today and everybody plays Sunday. I don't like the Warriors when they're playing great, and they've played great since. You cannot argue since Jimmy Butler trade. It's just been a completely different team. It kind of makes you wonder. Lakers at Portland. At Portland.
Yes, at Portland.
Yeah, so it's not the last regular season game. So that is a positive if you like Golden State, because the last game of the regular season, home game of the regular season, is fan appreciation at every arena, especially teams that aren't going to be in the playoffs like Portland. So you're going to get a pretty big raucous crowd usually, and Lakers might not have anything to play for that last game of the regular season potentially. So that could be a game maybe you look at Portland. But tonight, that Warriors game scares me because as good as they've been since the deadline. The last week it's been a little shaky for the Golden State Warriors. And if they lose, I think tonight they're going to be the 7 or 8 seed.
Yep.
So this is a must win for them, but it's just like the last game was a must win and they lost. So I don't know. What do you like here today in the NBA?
First of all, in the NBA, there's 9 games that are circled. And if you know what the word means circle, that means low limits or can't probably parlay some of them in some books. Even the almighty Circa has 6 games circa, which they usually never a circle game. So be very, very, very cautious.
Explain to him, Raphael, why that comes about as a why a book does that.
Just don't want to get crushed. I mean, they want to heavy parlay money line bets. I mean, you figure there's a couple of 19s out there. They just don't want to get buried in a meaningless game. They just don't pretty much. They don't want to think about it or worry about it. They don't want some guy coming in there betting, hey, a $10,000 money line parlay, and they're circling, let's say Boston, Chicago, Golden State, which a heavy one. They just want to keep an eye out for it. So anything that's probably coming over the counter, $1,000 with any of these circle games has to be approved. So you just can't go on crowd and say, hey, give me a 2-team teaser. Let's say it's 1 and 2 of those 9 games are circled. If you put $500, it's going to be approval. So they want to look at to see what you're betting so you don't get crushed. So 9 games circled on the betting board today in the NBA. That's why I went for a player prop bet on this one. I'm going to Sacramento Kings. I love the crafty lefty Sabonis. Give me points, rebounds over 31.5. I think he has a big game tonight. I know he's playing the Clippers. I know the Clippers are a little bit taller, but he's played the Clippers twice this year. He's averaging 23 points a game and 13.5 rebounds a game. So he has no issue going against a tall Clipper team. I just think he has a nice game. He'll get a double-double. This number was a little bit low. I wouldn't be shocked if we see 32 or 33.5 the closer it gets to game time because he's been crushing. I think he's hit this number 5 out of 6 games.
Yeah, the game he didn't hit, the game I played. Last time out, he played against Denver. I had points, rebound, assist, and he did not go over. I thought Denver had been they were like 130 pretty much every game. Fired the coach. I'm like, yeah, he's definitely going over. It almost looked like Sacramento was just mailing that game in early. Like they just did not play hard. And so that's the only thing that worries me. I do like Sabonis is just – he gets you tons of rebounds. Like he's going to get you 10 to 12 rebounds every game. It really just going to come down to points. And with him, they don't run a whole lot for him. It's a lot in the pick and roll and stuff, and they just let him just kind of create on his own. It's not like they have to run plays for him. But he doesn't – the one thing I always worry about him is he gets tons of offensive rebound. He kicks it out for 3. I'm like, shoot the freaking ball.
Yeah, shoot the ball. What are you kicking it out for?
And it's not like if you have Steph Curry, I totally get it. Kick it out. Those threes are like inside out are like 50% threes. Dude, there is not good shooters on freaking Sacramento. Shoot the ball in the lane. I do think Sacramento is a tough matchup if they can avoid Oklahoma City. They cannot beat Oklahoma City. No. If they could find a way to be the 7 seed, so they end up playing. I don't know if that's possible.
I don't think so. I don't think it's possible for the 7th seed.
So they're screwed then because they cannot beat Sacramento can't beat Oklahoma City. Anybody can beat Houston. Houston's had a great year. Everybody wants to play Houston though, because then you're on the opposite side. You don't have to face Oklahoma City till the Western Conference Finals. So that's a tough spot for Sacramento or any of those bottom teams in the Western Conference. That's why if the Warriors get the 7 seed, they're probably not like totally upset about it. Because if they have the home game, they win the 7-8 game, they face Houston. Houston did beat them the other night. Now that's like Houston's played well, but if you're the Warriors, that you'd much rather be on that side of the ball of the playoffs. I like a little free play. I like Toronto Raptors tonight plus the points. I'm telling you, one of these teams, that are the playoff teams that must win or that, can improve their spots, or just a better team, which the Mavs are the better team, are going to lose tonight. I don't know which one it is for sure, but I think Toronto Raptors will keep this closer. Dallas is just – what are you scared of if you're facing Dallas? Anthony Davis is a great player, but he's not one of those – he's not, SGA or Steph Curry that's going for 40 and is going to make this a blowout game. Even when he has a good game, the games can be close. I'm taking the Raptors here. Raptors have been one of the best teams in the league against the spread this year. Like all year long, Raptors have been great underdog teams. I'm taking the Raptors here. I know they've shut down Brandon Ingram for the year.
Yeah.
So guess what? The Raptors have been injured the entire season. Their roster is like, I don't know how many games they've missed. They got to be up there. I'm guessing the Pelicans are number one games missed this year.
Yeah, Pelicans are number one. But Raptors, I think, are either
they're in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Like they've missed a ton of games. And partly is like,
and they're 48-30, I think 49-31 against the spread. I think something like that. So I think they're
the top 3 in the against the spread numbers this year in the NBA, right? Overall, just like if you bet them every game.
Yeah.
That says something. Like grain of salt, like money line sports, like, oh well, teams are 48. You could be 20 games above 500 money line in the Major League Baseball and actually not show a profit because of the, usually the best teams have to lay these ridiculous numbers. When you play a spread sport and you're 48-31, that's almost all profit. So I like this Raptors team tonight. Is there one of these teams though that sticks out that you say, this is a danger spot? Maybe they're looking ahead, like Memphis. Memphis is in a must-win spot. They lost last night, embarrassed to be honest. Now they're at Denver. Both these teams have fired their coach in the last 2 weeks. Is that Memphis? Is this a spot where they get right?
Memphis now is 2-14 against the spread in their last 16 home games. That's ridiculous. That is crazy. I had that last night, and I was a little worried. And then I stopped watching the game because I got the movie Sinners sent to me, and I wanted to see
the third quarter. Oh my God! If you watch the game, I watched it. It was like Memphis stayed in the locker room. They were at home.
I'm going to take the Spurs. I want nothing to do with the Phoenix Suns. No, I don't want nothing to do with the Phoenix Suns. I think when the season's over, and I heard this from multiple sources in Phoenix, that there's grumblings that they're going to call out people and see what they can get for Booker. Kevin Durant's gone. He's not going to have a Sun jersey on next year. And if you're making phone calls to see how much you can get for Devin Booker, and he probably knows that, what's the incentive to play in this game against the Spurs, who came back and beat the Warriors a couple of days ago, and when they were down double digits? I think they like this Spurs team.
So
what's the point?
No Durant tonight, FYI, just everybody if that doesn't follow. He's out, right? And I think Beal, right? Like he might be out.
Yeah, Beal hasn't played. He's awful anyways. He's probably glad that they
and it is not a secret. Kevin Durant basically told him, keep me rest of the year and then trade me in the offseason. Get what you can get for me in offseason. That's what he told the ownership group. Yeah. He's got to be kicking himself for not going back to Golden State, first of all, because he would be in the, this big resurgence by the Warriors would be because of Kevin Durant. He could kind of rebuild his whole legacy.
There's got to be something behind that that we don't know. There's got to be something behind that story to why he turned that thing down.
Midget. That's facts.
Well,
I agree on that. Midget, and he wants to be the star of attention. Well, guess what? It has not worked at any stop other than the Warriors because they had the greatest group of teammates around him. He had Kyrie and James Harden, kind of all three in their prime, didn't work. He's came over here. Booker in his prime has not worked. What's on the field in the NBA? We talked about this the other day. We wanted to ask you, is there a bet out there? Because these are by far three favorite teams to win it all. Is there a field bet out there? What would it be? Even money?
The last one I saw only two was OKC and Boston. It didn't have the Cavs out there, and of course the field.
What was the field?
It was a small favorite.
Small favorite.
Yeah.
So they probably.
I want to say plus 150, 160. I have to look back because when I get done with what are the odds after this show, I got to do series prices for the NBA because one of the books I consult with want to know if I can do series prices with all the scenarios. So they can.
But it's got to think if you took the three favorite teams, they're all they're by far the three favorites. I'm guessing it would be about even money, right? Like about
Yeah.
minus 110 to take the
If
field.
you add a third team to try to get two-way action on both, yeah, you're probably right. Maybe lean a little bit plus on
And I would probably take the big
Fields.
three, to be honest. I
I would
don't
too.
see I don't see another team that is like that's a scary team.
No,
Like okay, the Clippers, okay, the Warriors. Can they win a couple series? Denver, can they win? Yeah. Can the Bucks win a few series? Can the Knicks win it? Can they beat these guys? Because they'd have to beat two. They're most likely going to have to beat Boston
that's
or
why.
or
That's why I
both.
think these. That's why I don't like Cleveland in it because I could see Milwaukee beating Cleveland. I can see if the Knicks shoot a prayer and make that a series and maybe steal a game seven. That's why I've been saying this for months. It's a two-team series. It's a two-team race. It's between the Celtics and OKC, and everyone else is playing for draft picks and shits and giggles.
I still think Cleveland can beat Boston. I don't know if Cleveland can beat Boston and then turn around and beat Oklahoma City though. That's the edge that Oklahoma City is going to have.
Yep,
The
I
West
agree.
the West is tougher when you just go okay 2-10. Let's say right now tougher, yes, but they don't have two teams like that. They don't have there's not two teams in the West that scares the shit out of me. Like the Lakers, they worry me a little bit. But in a 7-game series, do I think LeBron is going to be able to play seven games probably without getting injured or banged up? Probably not. Luka's always banged up. They can't guard at the rim. It's like every team has severe weaknesses in the West. Like there's something outside Oklahoma City. In the East, I really don't think Cleveland or Boston really has a weakness. I guess if they're not hitting the three.
Boston does if they're ice cold. If they
If they're
can't
not
hit the three, but they're still going to jack up 63.
But
And if they're not hitting,
they rebound the ball so well on offense, it kind of makes up for it. Like they get a lot of those long 3-pointers because they're so fast.
second chance points. Yeah.
And they are great on defense because they could switch everything.
No one talks about Porzingis right now. Porzingis is probably playing some of his best ball right now that we're not talking about.
Well, when Porzingis plays and then you play Al Horford off the bench, dude, you could switch
You're
everything.
a different team.
Like it's when you can switch your point guard onto a point guard, and I'm not saying for 24 seconds, but like the last 5-6 seconds of the clock and just stay in front of people and make them shoot over top of you, you have such an advantage. That's why the Warriors basically won all those titles. They could put Draymond at 5 at end of games, switch everything, and just basically make you shoot over top of them. And then it's just a matter of can you rebound. Boston actually rebounds extremely well. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and make sure you don't miss out on everything we do here every day. Before I get out of here, you have anything in NHL that you like?
No, nothing.
Right.
I like one play, and that's the play I played today.
Yeah, I do have a I do have a 5-unit play, my top play in overall. But I think there's two teams out there that are worth a shot as a +1.5, the puck line. First of all, I'm betting against New Jersey because I had them earlier in the week when they got Boston ended that long win streak. I think Pittsburgh's been just as bad. This is definitely a look over spot as well. Give me the +1.5 puck line with Pittsburgh. I think you get it about even money. And then Montreal. I think Montreal's already beat Ottawa a few times this year. I think they beat them either 2 or 3 times already this year. Montreal is a solid team. And this Ottawa team, as much as I've made some good money betting them in spots this year, like they don't scare me. I think Montreal here is a live underdog at the +120 number. And if you like them in the first period too, I kind of think they might jump out plus in the first period. And the good reason why you play them on the money line in the first period, if it's 1-1 or 0-0, you get your money back. If you play them money line for the game and it goes to overtime, you lose in overtime, you don't get your money back unless you bet in the 3-way line, which I wouldn't suggest to do as the plus. So,
hey, sportsbooks, can you move the total for the San Jose Edmonton to 7? I'm 6.5 minus 140. Really?
Like usually once you get to that -130, the next jump is they just move it the whole, the half a point. So or the half a goal. I'm surprised it hasn't. There's got to be they must be getting some money on the other side to keep this from rolling.
Everyone has -135 or over. There's
That's
Caesars has -140. Really, guys? That's embarrassing.
I mean, like I said, they must still be dragging some money in there. I also think Calgary is a slight underdog tonight. Worth a shot as well. All right, so let's don't forget we'll have Raphael back. He's going to be back on Wednesday. I do believe Robert's back next week, right? No. So Raphael might be with us on Friday as well next week. So, but don't forget MGM. He says MGM has it at 7 for plus money.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're if you have bet MGM, you might want to bet that if you like the plus. To me, I'd rather have the plus money if I'm betting the over. To be honest.
I agree.
I would stay away from a -6.5 or the over 6.5 at minus anything over the -125, -130. I'm just like, why? What's the worth there? What's the risk reward isn't worth it.
Bad money management.
Yeah. To me, just stay away. Or you play the alternate goals or run line. Now you can only do that up to a certain amount. That's the only negative. If you're a $10,000 player, you can't usually go into these books and bet it for 10,000 on the alternate run line on the alternate total. But if you're like a $1,000 player, you can do that. So just as a word to the wise. All right, guys, don't forget, if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up. Also, don't forget, get into the Premium and Premium Plus. Click the link in the description. And don't forget, 7-unit play. My man Raphael has a 7-unit play in baseball today. So make sure you go over there, docsports.com/free60 for new customers. Use that part of that $60 to get in on the MLB plays for Raphael tonight. So have a great day. Hope all your bets are winning ones. Good luck.